All right, here we are. Let's see. I have no idea if anybody can hear me, but let me add. Where's my link? How do I get a link? I don't know how to do this. Okay, let me find a link. Okay, cool. All right, man. I thought I had it. I thought I had it. Let's do this again. Such a boomer. Such a big boomer. Boom. Okay, there it is. All right. All right. Okay, so let me present. So what we're up to now is we're going to take a look at the City of College Station's uh, website there. All right, so now y'all can see that. Okay, so this is their website, and we're going to go to the home page and check out, let's see, City Council. We're looking for the meetings, agendas and minutes. Let's see if we can figure out where this is, agenda packets. So they've got a meeting coming up in 2 days on Thursday. So they do them. What is it? The second and fourth Thursdays, whatever it is. But yeah, two a month. And so this is the one. So we're opening up the agenda packet, and so this is where they have everything that they're going to be looking at. So there's the packet, and then there's just the agenda. And so for that one, the beginning here is just the agenda, and so they'll show all the different things. They say 3 o'clock is when it starts, so that's when they do the executive session where they talk behind closed doors. Um, yeah, and let's see. Anyway, so yeah, then so some things that might be of interest. So economic incentive negotiations. That's when they talk about giving money to private businesses for whatever reason. Economic development agreement with Corinth Group. I have no idea who that is. So let's see. Let's see how interesting that is. We can take a look at Corinth Group. We empower businesses with strategic capital and global enterprise. Okay, so this seems like some sort of a. Is this them? Corinth Group of Switzerland. So this might be the crew that. Here it is. That does ESG focus. Okay, yeah, these people seem. Okay, so they do investment stuff. This might be the people that they were talking about doing a partnership with a couple, might have been years ago. I don't know, maybe a year ago. Strange group, but it's hard to say what what the issues would be without knowing. So that's one of the benefits of doing things behind executive session, is that it's difficult to say anything bad about it when you don't know the details. And so I've looked at this before. So there's actually something along those lines that's going on now. So economic development agreement for development within the Midtown Business Park relating to baseball fields. So they're actually putting together later on here after in the regular agenda, presentation, discussion, and possible action on a letter of intent with the Station Baseball LLC relating to a baseball and softball complex in the Midtown Business Park. So this has been something that they've been talking about for a while, and now finally it's kind of got some details surrounding it. So this is item 10.2. Other things that are going on. So the police chief is giving a presentation about stuff that's going on with the police department. They don't talk about stuff related to the SWAT team and the Hopkins shooting. Usually, it's been 3 years since that happened, and it's just not. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So he's going to be getting an armored Tahoe for the SWAT team, the one that broke into that house and killed that guy for, oh man. Anyway, so that's something. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, so this is, yeah, so presentation. So this is happening in the consent agenda. So presentation, discussion, and action on resolution authorizing the chief of police is the guy to execute things necessary for the grant application for grant funds. So they're going to get some funds. I don't know how much they are, but I guess we could look that up if we wanted to. So search and document SHSP. Let's see if that's a common. Maybe not. Okay, we can look for 814. Might be easier to download this and look at it in a PDF. Oh, 88. Let's look for 814. 811. 812. Whatever that one is long. Yeah, let's just download this one, because this is taking too long to search for things. Okay. And then we can open it, share this tab instead. So this will be the agenda packet in a PDF. So hopefully this will search better, search quicker. So if I do 8.14, let's go to page 500. Playground replacement. Okay. So these packets get pretty big. So right now we're on page 747. 9.1. Okay, so some Midtown engagement thing. So this is the thing dealing with the Tahoe. Okay, Safe Shield Armored Tahoe is $125,000. The grant application is asking for the full price, including the full thing, ballistic protected windows and doors. If the grant's awarded, it's expected to cover 100% of the cost. So it's not going to cost anything to College Station taxpayers. It's just going to be a thing that's going to cost, Homeland Security Division. So, that's something that's going to cost U.S. taxpayers, which, nothing you can do to stop the federal government from spending money. Anyway, so that's one of the things on the agenda. And so there's going to be a lot of things about all kinds of stuff. So that's one of them. It's very easy to get bogged down in everything. So one thing that popped up was this letter of intent on the baseball project. So this has been something that's been in the works for a while. I think it was 2022. The city of College Station, they didn't do a bond. What they did was they went around voters and did a certificate of obligation, which is a way to issue debt without going to the voters. And they did that for, I don't recall exactly how much, on the order of $15, $20 million. And did that to probably closer to 15 to build 4 baseball fields. And then they went to voters about a month later to try to get closer to 20,000, maybe 15,000 for the next 4 fields, including one that was going to be the championship field. That would be, it wasn't clear what that was for. It's become clear now. It looks like that's been earmarked for the Brazos Bombers, who's a local college summer league team that used to be up in Bryan, but they had issues. Bryan was trying to get rid of them for a long time, and was finally able to do so. And somehow they've got connections. I suspect anyway. But so for some reason now College Station is promising them a place to play. So if we go to 10.2, which is somewhere beyond where we were, let's see. Let's find it. This baseball thing is weird. Okay, this is still workshop items. Which items are these? Man, I wish there was a way to just go straight to the page. So we're looking for 10.2. I wonder if I just say 10.2. Okay. Here we are, 10.2. Okay, so in case I lose this, 889. So we're looking at, so the staff is recommending acceptance of the LOI. So this would just give them a framework for negotiations and authorization to proceed with drafting a formal agreement that I'm concerned would just be rubber stamped by the city council, because I don't know, I haven't seen much like reasonable discernment stuff coming from them. Anyway, so usually things get this far because somebody wants it and not enough people are able to say, hold up, wait a minute. So the summary is that this preliminary estimates suggest an annual economic impact of approximately 28 million. So driven primarily by tournament activity and visitor spending. So, you know, if that's 5 million coming from, let's see, 5, let's share this tab. So if that's 5 million times the hotel occupancy tax rate is, I think, on the order of 7%. But this is just back of the envelope stuff. And so that would leave us with 28, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 28 million minus the 5 million times, and then we should check. So 1.5%, it might be. Let's see. Sales tax rate. Sure, this tab. So this is the property tax. I'm not looking for that. Sales tax rate locator. Let's see. Is this going to show us? No, let's do a map search. Maybe I ran into something that I didn't know even existed. Cool. So if I click here, this is College Station. So we're, all right, so the state takes 6.25, the county takes 0.5%, and then College Station takes, 1.5%. And so that all adds up to 8.25% sales tax, so that means that if we're dealing with this, 1.5% is the right number. So if we multiply all that out, let's use like Wolfram Alpha or something. Okay, let's share this tab. So we've got this number. So we've got 5 million times the 0.7, or sorry, the 7% hotel occupancy tax. Add that to the difference there. So this presumably sales tax. That 5 million. That's just a guesstimate of what the breakout would be. And so this 23 million times the 1.5%, that would actually be general fund stuff. So that's things that you can spend on police, fire, parks, all that kind of stuff. The hotel occupancy tax is really limited in how you're spending it. So they wind up spending it on all kinds of kind of silly stuff usually, because you're limited in how you can do it. And so the result there would be on the order of 700,000. So if that were exclusively hotel occupancy tax, you'd wind up with, let's see, as much as $2 million, but it wouldn't be usable mostly. So I think this is probably a fair one. And so, so we're talking about doing all this spending, whatever it is, for an increase in the tax rolls of maybe $700,000. And of that, most of it is going to be not really usable. So at most, the usable portion is going to be, let's see, if all 28 million of it were the good stuff, then we would wind up with 420,000 in general funds things. So it's not, maybe $500,000 in useful if things go way better than they expect. So that's what we're looking at gaining, is something like $500,000 a year in tax revenue. And what would we be giving up a 63-acre lease, and somewhere they say explicitly that the lease would be for a nominal amount. Where did they say that? I think they use the term nominal. I'm going to search for that. Nominal. Yeah, so 63 acres leased to developer at a nominal rate, so probably something goofy like $100 or $1,000 an acre. I don't know. So not much. So that's basically going to be free for. They don't say how long, but later on they say 50 years, I think it is, for a period not to exceed 50 years, with an option to extend the lease for an additional 10-year term, which after 50 years, 10 years is nothing. 50 years might as well be perpetuity. Like 50 years is a long time. And so once you start putting things out that long, finance-wise, it's when you bring it back to today's stuff, it gets pretty small potatoes. So yeah, and then also a 30-acre sale for $20,000 an acre. I don't know how much this normally would sell for. I suspect $20,000 an acre is probably dirt cheap, but I don't know. It's something to figure out when trying to figure out how much all this that is being given away is worth. So then, in addition to that, $20 million, I believe, cash, and then along with the 10-year property tax abatement. So, what did I just click? All right. Wrong tab. My bad. Okay, so 10-year property tax abatement, clawbacks for non-performance. But if you know anything about the city, they don't do clawbacks. They let people go. Biosat is a big thing. Gary Doris, there was a whole fraud thing. Yeah. And then, let's see. So developer commitment. So they're expected to spend 35 to 50 million on the total project. So if it's 35, then the property tax rate we saw was about 0.5%. So what's 35 million times 0.005? So that's 175,000. Okay, so then the benefit that we're getting is something, what was it, 420, or let's round it up, 500,000 minus 175. Okay, so we've got 325. Let's look at what else we're doing. And then, of course, the $20 million, which, so we've got 325. Then you have to figure out the current value of, or the value of $20 million. You can either figure out how to do that, do the $20 million each year, or you can bring the total flow and bring that to today to do a comparison. But anyway, and so also the public would gain access Monday through Friday during evening hours at rates comparable to city facilities, and then city access on available weekends. So it's, I don't know, like how likely is it that that's going to be, yeah, that there's not going to be disputes about how that goes. It's, I don't know. I doubt this is going to work out like a public park, but I don't know. Um, and then this one is weird. The Brazos Valley Bombers granted access to the championship field for home games under a separate use agreement. Why is the city negotiating that? It's just so strange that we would step in on behalf of, in a potential agreement between two private parties and say, we're going to give you $20 million to build these fields on the condition that you give access to this other private company that has proven to not be a great partner with the city of Bryan. I don't know what we're trying to hitch our wagon to them for. So economic impact, expected to host approximately 30 tournaments a year with an estimated economic impact of that 28 million annually. And then hotel stays, which presumably would be a part of that, or would be required within the College Station city limits. So they do this state of play type thing. It's my understanding is it's common with travel tournaments is they say, hey, you can play here, but if you don't live within however many miles, you have to stay in some designated hotels. Usually the tournament organizers will have some sort of a I don't know what the term is, but kickback has an ugly connotation, but something like that. Usually they'll get some sort of a rebate. The organizer will get something from the hotels that they designate, or that can happen anyway. Yeah, so they're going to do this. The developer's going to submit documentation within 30 days. Then they're going to do a market study in 90 days, and then the city's going to evaluate feasibility and negotiate an agreement. So this is the first open step. They've been talking about this for a while. It's a thing. So at least we're getting some heads up as opposed to things like with the Macy's deal where they just pulled the trigger before anybody knew what was going on. So no funds expended as part of this letter, but if they do move forward, financial impact would be the $20 million cash incentive, the land incentives, like the 50-year giveaway, and then infrastructure construction to the service site. So the city would be doing infrastructure to there and the surrounding property. I'm not sure how infrastructure usually works. My understanding, I thought, was that the developer usually took care of that, but the people here are getting a lot of goodies, and so this is kind of guidelines on how this would work. Set of incentives, city financial incentives, $20 million cash. And then capital structure, community benefits. So developer to provide public access to the baseball and softball complex site Monday through Friday during designated hours at rates that do not exceed those at comparable city facilities, and agreed to by the city council. So I know that citizens can go to parks without having to pay, but my understanding is you can book a field and do that. So that's what they're talking about there. We can check it actually, but let's see. So CSTX. Rent ball field. Let's see, athletic field rentals. So how much do they? Let's see if we share this tab. So one field all day includes lights, $315. So that's what it is right now. And then non-residents, it's $400. So that's the rates that we'd be looking at according to this. So, and then okay, so 6 to 12 month rolling calendar detailing the weekends with planned events. So I don't know if that means that if they don't have it booked within 6 months, if they'd have to leave it open for the city. Let's see, Travis Fields, Bryan, Texas. So this is, so Travis Fields at Midtown Park, this is something that the Twin City Bryan has going on. And so we can look at their schedule. So they've got adult kickball tournament. Okay, February 12th, they had an auto show, Texas Bomber Shootout. Okay, early competition. That's this coming weekend. Okay, so they have them, it looks like, booked out pretty much every weekend. Though sometimes they have, what is going on? Okay. Yeah, it looks like mostly booked out. So maybe that's, so August is done. I don't know if that's normal for baseball or not. So they've got that booked out for about 6 months. So maybe that's reasonable to expect them to do. Okay. So build and maintain public trails, downlighting, noise buffering. So build it to standards that the city likes. Connect it to existing city trail network. Brazos Valley Bombers' use of Championship Field. This is so strange to me. As a part of the city's support for the project, developers shall provide Brazos Valley Bombers with access to the Championship Field. Why are we negotiating this on behalf of the Bombers? It makes no sense to me. Like if the city council is supposed to be a fiduciary to the taxpayers, like why are we doing things on behalf of the Bombers, who just, yeah, I don't get it. Why we're giving them special access, like, and paying $20 million and giving, like, why is that a part of this? It's weird to me. Okay, so the developer would be responsible for operations and things, long-term responsibility, project branding. Anyway, so that's the crux of it. And so, yeah, the details would, this is what it's supposed to look like so far. I mean, they could change it. Let's see which one. The Championship Field. This is number 10. This is the one that the Bombers get special access to. Let's see, 15 is that. Oh, an event center. Okay. I don't know. Hospitality cabins. That seems strange to me. Okay, so that's that seems weird. All right, so that's the letter of intent there. So I thought that was interesting, and thought I'd show you what agendas look like, things like that. Anyway, yeah, if this kind of thing is interesting, please leave a comment. If there's something that you'd rather look at, if you'd like to go through each of the different things, if you want to see a live stream, or we could we could live stream a city council meeting at some point. Could do that. Though they get long sometimes. So that's what's going on in College Station on Thursday. Anyway, take care.